Good day, U.S. history students. Mr. Deegan here. It is 11:04 VidNotes time. Let's get to work. Let's start with our learning target. Please write this down. I will understand modern immigration, modern media, and modern technology. And in the United States, immigration has been an issue in the news. We'll talk about that. And the internet has really revolutionized the way that we work, the way that we communicate. An increase in immigration. Immigration to the U.S. has increased from many diverse countries, especially Asian and Latin American countries. And you see, this is 2011, a pie chart. Look at the percentage of immigrants from Latin America, more than half, and the percentage of immigrants from Asia, about 1/3. Why be a U.S. immigrant? Immigrants were moving to the U.S. to have more political freedom and for greater economic opportunity, to gain more money for your family. The immigration debate, part 1. Critics of immigrants to the U.S. say they are a strain on government services. What are government services? Well, they're services that the government provides, like post office, library, hospital, police, fire station. Where do you get money for these services? Well, they come from taxpayers. Do all immigrants pay taxes? If you're an illegal immigrant, you might not. So it gets messy. Supporters of immigrants say they fill low-paying jobs in the U.S. that no one else wants to do, and they help increase cultural diversity, creating a melting pot that we can all enjoy. The immigration debate, part 2. Immigration has caused border issues and has led to the question, should the U.S. limit the number of immigrants it allows in? Some U.S. leaders think that before immigrants can become U.S. citizens, they have to live in the U.S. for many years and pass some sort of citizenship test. This is called the Pathway to Citizenship Plan. And here is a very disputed border, the border of the U.S. and Mexico in the southern part of the U.S. Some people want to build a wall there to take out immigrants. Some people are more relaxed about it. What do immigrants contribute? U.S. immigrants provide more diversity in music, the visual arts, and literature. They also have achieved greatness in science and engineering. An example of that is Albert Einstein. He lived in America, but he was an immigrant from Europe. Also, Bob Marley, musical legend, he was an immigrant who has enriched our culture. Immigration and terrorism. Critics of open, relaxed immigration laws say that it makes U.S. more vulnerable to terrorist attacks. And one of these critics might have this sign, "Make America safe again." Immigration and terrorism. In the last 3 decades, the U.S. has seen an increase in international terrorism. It has responded by creating laws to stop terrorism. In 2001, 1 month after the 9/11 attacks, President George W. Bush signed into law the Patriot Act. It expanded the U.S. government's right to conduct surveillance on U.S. citizens to prevent future terrorist attacks. Here is President Bush signing that into law, and the U.S. Patriot Act, according to him, said it would protect the homeland. Critics have said that the government is watching us, and that is against privacy laws. U.S. tech advances. Dramatic advances in technology have affected life in America in many significant ways. For example, the American space program, NASA, was a triumph for U.S. technological prowess, prowess meaning skill. More on the U.S. program of space. In the early 1960s, President John F. Kennedy, there he is, pledged to increase support for the American space program. The race to the moon continued through the 1960s. And there is a moon. JFK called it the moonshot. He said, we're going to get America to the moon. More on America in space. U.S. astronaut John Glenn, there he is, was the first American to orbit the Earth. In 1969, American astronaut Neil Armstrong, there he is, was the first human to step onto the moon's surface. He said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Sally Ride, here she is, was the first female American astronaut, and she recently passed away as well. Examples of tech in space. The US has created the Mars rover to explore the surface of Mars. There is a picture of it. NASA's Voyager spacecraft, here's Voyager 1, have explored the outer solar system. NASA has also created the Hubble telescope to observe space. And here's a model of the Hubble. Other tech advances. Over the last 3 decades, 30 years, the US has improved its technology and media to allow for better communication and information for businesses and individuals in both urban, city, and rural country areas. As a result, many more Americans have access to global news and ideas. You might call it the internet revolution. We can have news from China, from India, from Australia, and they can have American news in seconds. Changes in work, school, and health. Technology is allowing more Americans to telecommute, work from home, than ever before. Also, more students are doing online coursework. More businesses are outsourcing, sending work to other countries, or offshoring, having headquarters in another country to save money. America in space, and let's go to the summary questions because we just did that. Once you are done with your summary questions, writing 2 down, please do the Canvas quiz 11-4 style. And when you're done with that, you are done with the 11-4 vid notes. This is Mr. Deegan signing off.